The Bridgewater Triangle is a stretch of land in southeastern Massachusetts that many locals prefer not to speak about, at least not after sunset. Covering nearly 200 square miles, the region appears ordinary on a map. Quiet forests, swamps wrapped in morning fog, small towns tucked behind winding roads. But beneath its surface lies a history marked by strange disappearances, unexplained lights in the sky, aggressive hauntings, and creatures that defy biology. When researchers first mapped the triangle in the 1970s, they didn't choose the boundaries based on superstition. They chose them because the reports clustered so thickly that they carved their own shape on the page. The land seemed alive, as if holding its breath, waiting for someone to notice. The first known stories came from the Wampanoag people, centuries before the first colonists arrived. They spoke of the Hockomock Swamp, the place where spirits dwell, a sprawling, dark marsh that felt more like a living organism than a piece of land. Warriors who entered its depths sometimes emerged days later unable to speak, unable to describe what they had seen. Others never came out at all. Legends described glowing figures in the fog, shadowy beasts with burning eyes, and trickster spirits called pukujis, small, human-like creatures that could lure travelers deeper into the woods before pushing them from cliffs or leading them into bogs. As time passed, the stories were dismissed as folklore. But that was long before the disappearances began. In the 20th century, Bridgewater locals started reporting strange aircraft flying silently over their homes, long before drones or advanced jets were common. Not metallic discs or saucers, but large, angular objects that glided without sound, sometimes dipping low enough to rattle the treetops. In 1979, 2 police officers witnessed a massive triangular craft hovering above a field, its lights casting geometric patterns across the grass. One officer later confessed, "It wasn't flying, it was watching." Reports poured in over the years: UFOs, pulsating orbs, floating columns of light. Some were seen rising from the swamps themselves, as if the triangle was not just a place visited by strange forces, but a place where those forces emerged. But the lights in the sky weren't the only thing unsettling the locals. Deep within Freetown State Forest, well known for camping trails and fishing spots, investigators discovered ritual sites, stone circles, burned effigies, and strange symbols carved into trees. Rangers frequently found abandoned campsites arranged in unnerving geometric patterns. Hikers reported stumbling upon groups dressed in black robes who vanished when confronted. In the 1980s and 90s, several disturbing crimes occurred in the forest, acts so brutal and senseless that detectives struggled to understand them. Some believed the forest didn't just attract darkness, it amplified it. Those who stepped inside said the air felt heavier, as though the forest itself was observing, deciding whether to let them leave. While paranormal investigators documented stories across the triangle, the Hockomock Swamp remained its heart, a silent witness to centuries of unexplained events. Farmers whose land bordered the swamp spoke of hearing drumming in the middle of the night, rhythmic and purposeful, echoing across the water. Others saw figures standing waist-deep in the marsh, motionless, staring, only to sink into the mud without a ripple. Wildlife behaved strangely within the swamp. Birds flying in circles until they collapsed, deer found wandering in perfect single-file lines, and coyotes howling in tones that almost resembled human voices. Those who lived nearby described nightmares so vivid they refused to sleep with their windows open. One of the most unsettling encounters happened in 1971, when a group of teenagers driving near the Rehoboth Woods saw a creature sprint across the road, larger than a man, covered in dark fur, with limbs too long to be human, and movements too fast to be anything known. The creature stopped at the tree line and turned toward them, its eyes reflecting a dull amber glow. The teenagers hit the gas, but later discovered deep claw marks on the side of the car, marks that no animal in Massachusetts could have made. When police investigated, they found the footprints, but they didn't match any species on record. The case was quietly filed away. Then there were the vanishings, people who walked into the triangle and were simply never seen again. Some were hikers, others hunters, one an experienced outdoorsman who knew every inch of the swamp. Search teams followed their tracks until they reached a point where the footprints stopped. No drag marks, No signs of struggle, just complete termination, as if the person had stepped off the earth. Dogs brought to track the missing often refused to enter certain parts of the swamp, whining and backing away with tails low. Experienced rescuers reported sudden disorientation, compasses spinning wildly, GPS units freezing, and the environment shifting in ways they couldn't explain. Despite the fear the triangle inspired, some were drawn to it. Investigators, thrill seekers, skeptics determined to debunk the legends. One of the most famous investigators, aiming to conduct an overnight study near the swamp's edge, recorded hours of audio that captured something extraordinary. Not words exactly, but layers of whispers. Dozens of voices overlapping, none speaking a recognizable language. The whispers grew louder as the night deepened, rising to a crescendo just before his equipment shut down completely. When he replayed the tape later, he heard something he hadn't noticed. Footsteps circling his tent, stopping only a few inches from where his head had been. He never returned. To this day, the Bridgewater Triangle remains a place where explanations fail and legends feel too close for comfort. Some claim it's a thin place, where the barrier between realities wears thin. Others believe it's a wound, an ancient scar left by conflict, ritual, or something older than human memory. Those who have spent time there say the land feels sentient, as if it chooses what to reveal and what to keep. What is known for certain is that the Triangle has produced more paranormal reports per square mile than almost anywhere else in the United States. And whether the stories come from fear, from illusion, or from something truly extraordinary, one truth persists. In southeastern Massachusetts, there is an area of land that does not behave like the rest of the world. A place where the air hums with secrets. A place where people vanish. A place that waits.